Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5, the members Aulia Aripatunida, Patihan Nurmana Putri, Muhammad Alif Budiman, and Nadi Febriana. Here, we will explain about testing and assessing reading. The first, I will explain about definition testing and assessing reading. Definition testing reading. Testing language skill is difficult, but testing reading and the reading of student of English as a second language poses two major problems. The first is making education about the matter of control, objectivity of the evaluation, and naturalness in the reading test. And next definition, assessing reading. The ability to read has become an indispensable skill in our global literate community. Reading skill, at least at rudimentary levels, is a necessary condition for achieving employment in many walks of life and is simply taken for granted in literate culture. Next, I will explain about genres of written language. Written language. The first, academic reading. Papers and general subject report essay, competition academically focused journal, short answer, test response, technical reports, and thesis dissertation. The second, about job-related reading. Message, letter or email memo, schedule, label, sign advertisements, and announcement manuals. And the last, personal reading, letters, emails, greeting cards, invitation message, notes, calendar entries, shopping lists, reminders, financial forms, questionnaires, medical reports, imagination, documents, diaries, personal journal, vacation.
Type of assessing performance. Performance tasks are hands-on activities that require students of demonstrate their ability to perform certain action. Performance tasks are particular and relative to a functional educator because they can be used to simulate real occupational setting and demands. Our class includes many explain for performance tasks. For instance, each Oklahoma vocational student had to complete to take designed and scored by his or her teacher. Oke, ada beberapa types of assessing performance. The first, imitative. Imitative includes the ability to spell correctly perceive form or grapheme to correspondence in the English spelling system. Jadi itu kemampuan memahami pengejaan fenom atau grafem dalam ejaan bahasa Inggris. Jadi kemampuan siswa memahami pengejaan fenom atau grafem dalam ejaan bahasa Inggris. Oke. Second, intensive. Skill in improving appropriate vocabulary with the context, collection and idioms, and correct grammatical picture of the length of the sentence. Jadi siswa bisa menghasilkan kosakata baru, koloksa dan idiom serta grammar yang benar. Third yaitu responsive. Task relates to a pedagogical directive, list of criteria, outlines, and other guidelines. Genres of writing include brief, narrative, and description, short reports, lab reports, and summarize. Oke. For itu extensive. Focus, swing, a purpose, organizing and developing ideas logically, using detail to support or illustrate ideas, demonstrating syntax and lexical variety. Oke, yang kedua yaitu macro and micro skill of writing. In micro aspect, the learners practice specific writing from at the level of word or sentence, can writing or typing, spelling, punctuation. On the other hand, the learners emphasis on micro aspect of writing, which cover on content and organization of the writing. Jadi pada aspek mikro, siswa itu dapat mempraktekkan kata atau kalimat dan atau tulisan tangan serta ketikan, ejaan dan tanda baca. Sedangkan pada aspek makro, siswa menulis isi dan perorganisasian tulisan. Oke, next. Okay, the micro skill. The first, products grammars on orthographic pattern of English. Second, produce writing at the efficient rate of span to set the purpose. 3, production extractable core of words and use appropriate word order patterns. 4, use extractable grammatical system, sentence, agreement, pluralization patterns and rules. 5. Express a particular meaning in different grammatical form. 6. Use covers device in writing discourse. Okay, next. Yang B, macro skills. Use the rhetorical form and contents of writing discourse. Appropriately compose the communicative function of writing text according to form and purpose. 9. Conflicts and connections between events and communicate issues relating as main idea, supporting idea, now information, giving information, generalization and explanation. 10. Distinguish between literal and implied meanings when writing. 11. Correctly convey cultural specific reference in the context of the written text. 12. Develop on use better of writing strategies just as extraordinarily asking to audience interpretation. Using protein difficult, writing with values in the first draft. Using paragraphs and synonyms, selecting per and interrupter feedback, and using feedback for.
Okay, I will continue the explanation about part D, designing assessment tests in writing. The first, designing assessment tests in imitative writing. Test in hand one writing letters, words, and punctuation. Copying. A test takers copy letter words. It means because we talk about the imitative writing, so we copy another writing to our writing. And then listening close selection text. It means combination of dictation with a written script that has relatively frequent deletion ratio. And then picture cue text. It means familiar pictures are displayed and test takers are taught to write the words that the picture represent. And then form completion test. It means use a simple form, registration, application, and the other that asks for name, address, phone number, and other data. And then converting numbers and abbreviations to words. A section of numbers and abbreviations are written, and the test takers are directed to read out the number or abbreviations. And then the second, designing assessment test intensive rating. Designing assessment test, it means intensive or controlled writing. As you can see in the picture, the first column is dictation and dictocom. Dictation is basically copying what the teacher reads. Also imitative and rewrite a paragraph with their recollection from what was understood. And then the next column, there is grammatical transformation test. The combination of sentence, active to passive, direct to indirect, reduced forms, endless possibilities. And then the other column, there is picture code test. There is non-verbal means to stimulate written response with the picture description, with the sequence description, with the picture code, short sentence. And then the next column, there is vocabulary assessment. Vocabulary assessment test to see if the test taker knows the word by defining and using a word in a sentence or collocation and morphological variants. And then the other column, there is ordering test, order to or reorder scrambled set of words into the correct order to make a sentence. And the other column, there is short answer and sentence completion test. By limited response writing tests vary from simple to more elaborated responses. And then the third, there is designing assessment test responsive and extensive. Designing assessment tests responsive and extensive writing is guided question and answer. Maybe consist 2 or 3 paragraphs scored on either analytic or holistic scale. The example, where did the story take place? It talk about setting. And then who were the people in the story? It means character. And then what happened first? And then that mean sequence of event. And then what happened at the end? What is the moral of the story? So that is to assess the student about responsive and extensive writing. So that's all from me. It will be continued by my friend. Thank you.
Okay, I will explain that about skill assessing writing. Number 1, micro skills of writing. Henry 2000 mentioned the micro skills involved in writing skills. Mastery of these micro skills helps the writer to have good command over writing free or of mistakes and errors. Number 2, writing at secondary stage. Writing in this context, especially with reference to a language classroom in a secondary schools, mean learning and practicing the grammar of a language through writing exercise. And the last, objectives of the study. To find out students' competency in different types of sub-skills of writing. To compare the students' proficiency in sub-skills of writing on the basis of gender, location, and public and private sector.